Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and this is a little something I've been working on for a few weeks, and then I stopped and did the fall journal and all that. I couldn't quite figure out how I wanted to do this, so I think I got it now. So I made like library pockets like this, and so this card is 8 inches long by 3.5 across, and then it's folded at, can't remember, sorry, about 5. So see right there, 5. Okay. So I made 4 of those, and then I stitched them together so they look like this. I did stitching, all different stitching around the edges. I mean, these are pretty junky, so if you don't like it this junky, you're probably not going to like this, but you can do it however you want. You don't even have to sew them at all. You could just glue them, but I sewed them. And then I covered them with some of that orange coffee stained paper that I made, and then book paper. So they're just alternating different coffee papers and book papers. And I was going to do the back and do like a whole nother set glued to it, but for one, I didn't want it that thick. I wanted it to be able to fold up pretty easily like this. So you could put it in a journal, or you can put it out as a decoration, or you know, whatever you want to do. So, but I did figure out something to do on the back, and I'll show you guys. And then I used this paper right here, and it's called Moonlight Manor. And let's see, by Recollections. Sorry, I was having a hard time there. So it's just the little 6x6 pad, and it's just cool paper. So I'm using that, and then I printed out a whole bunch of crazy pictures on Pinterest, because when I look at those old Halloween costumes, I think we're not even remotely scary anymore. Those things were scary, all those homemade ones. The faces were just creepy. So anyway, for a while, a couple of years now, I've been wanting to do something with those because I just think they're cool, and I had a whole bunch saved in or pinned in my Pinterest. So I decided to finally do something about it. I'm also going to use this Tim Holtz, his ephemera pack for Halloween. It's 109 pieces of ephemera, so I'll be using some of that. So anyway, I got these started, and then we'll just finish putting it together. But like I said, I just took, this is plain cotton fabric like this. It's kind of a, I don't know, brown, a dark charcoal, almost brown kind of a color. It just looked grungy and funky, so that's what I decided to use. I tore it, and that's how I'm holding my books together, because I think it allows for an easier bend than paper would. So that's why. But see, you can set it up like this, and it works. So, and I left all the strings hanging out and everything. So what I'm going to do now, that you've seen how this is done, I'm going to glue the sides so that they stay closed. I hope everybody's having a great day. Sorry, sort of just jumped right into this. I'm excited to have, you know, come up with an idea. I just didn't want it to get so thick that it was, you know, you couldn't really fold it and all that. So that's kind of what I was trying to avoid. So I'm just going to glue all those like that. I probably won't make you guys sit through all of this because it's kind of ridiculous, but that stays up there. And then I just took a piece of the paper and I cut it. This is the cardstock that I got from Recollections, 3 by, it's almost 5. It's just a little bit less than that. I think that's just so that it fit in the pocket. See, because if you go like this, it won't fit if it's any longer than this. So that's kind of what the dealio was. Why the size is weird, but it's essentially like a 3 by 5 card. I rounded the edges. I put some coffee stain paper on the back with lines, the little kid lines, and then cut this picture. And I know everybody's using this picture this Halloween. I've seen it, like Susie at Creative Cafe Girl has used it, and I've seen it a couple other places, but I just love that one. That one is so creepy, and I don't know if that's one that's real, or if it's something that somebody like just decided to like Photoshop or something with those pumpkins, because those are super creepy, but it looks pretty authentic, so I don't know. Anyway, I like that one. So this is basically the front of this, And when I stick the card in there, this says Fright Night on it. I think that fits. So I thought I would use some of, sorry, I just bumped the camera. Probably sent everybody falling. Some of these funny little ephemera. These are really cool. He just comes up with the neatest stuff. I don't know where on earth they find all this stuff, but it is super cool. Let's see. I kind of like this spooky, because to me that's pretty spooky. Yeah, I don't know why we even bother going to the Halloween places and buying costumes when you can make them to look that scary. We should have just always kept doing that. I mean, I know it's easier probably not to have to make your own, but they're way creepier, I think, than anything we come up with now. Okay, just a little ink on there. I just thought this was kind of fun. It got all kind of gray and cloudy today, and so it's making me feel the fall. I did that album, and I always love all the pumpkins and stuff, but I wasn't really feeling it yet, but it's starting to feel like fall here. Cooled down a little bit. I don't know if that'll stay that way or not, but it's pretty neat. Maybe I'll put this, doesn't really fit, does it? Maybe, sorry, I know this is probably really exciting watching me do this. We'll do this poison sign. It's kind of weird, huh? Spooky poison. Maybe I won't do that one. Let me see. Like, I don't think those will fit here. Maybe I'll just leave it as it is right now. Sorry, I'm just not finding what I want. So, but anyway, so that one will go in there. I kind of don't want to force this pocket since it's not. It might be okay now. So that, and then for this next one, I was going to use this paper with the skeleton, and I put a 3x5 card on the back. Let me glue my pocket closed. Out of frame, like usual. I'm sure you guys just scream at me, because I just cannot seem to get it together with that. Depends on what I'm doing. Some things are easier to keep in frame than others, for sure, but... So this front part, that first one was easy because obviously that's just a piece of the cardstock and then I stitched around it, or stitched just at the top. But this one is a piece of that orange kind of paper that I coffee stained, a piece of the creepy cloth in gray, and then this crazy picture. This Motley Crue, let me tell you, I don't know if it's going to pick up super great on here, but they're all like handmade costumes. There's like a clown and a skeleton and another skeleton, and I don't even know what a couple of those are. This is probably a witch back here. But they're just so funny. I mean, those are just scary in my opinion. So there's that, and then we're going to do the skeleton, and he's from the Tim Holtz, and I inked him a little bit already. And then this creepy picture. This kid has got like a skeleton mask on, a funny little hat. It looks like one of those old weird like faux fur shawls or something, and then a lady's slip that goes under a dress. But I think that's cool, so I'm gonna put that one on there. These pictures are a crack up. If you go on Pinterest and put in vintage Halloween photos, the stuff that comes up is just cockamamie. I mean, it's nuts. So that one's gonna go there, and I thought this guy goes very well. Oops, he's got another punch out right there. I always loved Halloween. It's always been one of my favorites, and it's not necessarily that I like scary things or creepy things. I just think it's a lot of fun. I had a blast when I was a kid dressing up and trick-or-treating with my friends, and it's just a lot of fun. I was never really into like any of the horror stuff or any of that. I had a friend who loved to watch horror movies, and I remember sitting on her couch and like hiding behind a pillow or a blanket or something over my face and just like peeking out every once in a while. Because I just could not do it, and I still can't. I have nightmares, and that just does not help me at all with that. So, and you could do more pictures on the back, decorate them even further, but for now, for this, I'm just going to do this. You know what, I'm going to leave that one out because I can see that glue's not dry. I'm worried that this one's going to stick in there, so I'm going to take it out too. And I'll set them up here for right now. Okay, and then this one I did some of the paper. One of the pages is like eerie trees, and so that's what's back there. And then there's black creepy cloth and gray, and then bats and these cool flowers. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of a neat picture. So yeah, she always wanted to watch horror films. I don't know, I wanted to ask if you guys know anything about, I was always told not to use paper in your sewing machine. And my daughter has a nice sewing machine and I don't sew. And I know everybody is sewing everything right now, all these papers and everything, and I just was wondering if anybody has trouble, because every once in a while I have trouble, and you can see it got all crazy here. And I just left it because for this it looks kind of cool, but it's like a tension thing. But I'm just thinking that her sewing machine does not love the paper. And that was another reason I didn't want to do a whole nother set of these on the back, because I was worried to mess up her machine. So anyway, if you guys know anything about that, could you let me know? Because maybe it's just, you know, because I don't know very much and I'm just scared of it, that I don't sew quite as much. I mean, a lot of times I try to just sew fabric things and then glue them in place. That one's still not ready. But I know everybody sews everything, so I don't know what my dilemma is exactly. Maybe it's just me, like I said. Okay, this is some birds and coffee stain paper that's going to go on this one. And these guys, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to stop moving. Is that creepy or what? I mean, look at that. It's just really creepy. And you can tell they're like, this kid's got overalls on and looks like they're outside of a barn. I don't know, just creepy. I mean, I get that's just the way the costumes were. It's no creepier than now. The kids are fine, but those pictures crack me up when I look at them. That and the Victorian ones where they do, like, if their mom died and they're standing over a fake grave and there's like ghosts and stuff. Those are really bizarre too. I've seen a few of those and I can't remember what they call them, but, or the ones where the mom's like holding the baby but her head and everything's under a blanket. I can't remember what those are called either, but I don't know, there's just some crazy pictures out there, the way they used to do things. And I get it, they didn't want the baby to fall over and all that, but it was just kind of funny. It's like, you're really not very hidden. So let's see, what do I want to use for this? Decisions, right? I guess I could use another picture because I do have more. And there's one that I like that is funny, but I don't think I have, I think it's small enough. Look at that. How funny is that? I think I might have a smaller version of it. I printed some different sizes because I couldn't decide. I mean, I shrunk them down a lot, obviously, but I couldn't decide what I wanted to use. So on some of them I have multiples. But that one, I don't know that I do. Oh, there it is, but it's got kind of a weird look to it. It'll probably work though. I'll just round the edges, that would help and ink it a little bit. I think these sort of look like rubber masks, so maybe this is like, I don't know, the 70s or early 80s, I'm not sure. I don't think this one's quite as old as some of the other ones are. Because I don't think those are handmade masks. I think those are the rubber ones, but it's just funny the way they're sitting with this one with his arm around the other one. I just think this is kind of a cool conversation thing, you know, if you had people around it. Halloween time and in your house, and if you had these sort of things sitting around, which I like to do. I like to do little like decorative vignettes with, you know, I'll use some of my, this kind of thing that's made out of paper or other decorative items. I just think it's kind of fun to have some different stuff sitting around. Gives people something to think about. For sure with these, because they definitely make you think. Let's do this owl. I kind of like this owl. I love Tim Holtz. I was watching his new Christmas stuff. It's like an hour-long thing he did on YouTube. Oh my goodness, he's got some cool stuff coming out. And just a lot of stuff that he's had for a while. It's, of course, cool. But he's got lots of these, this ephemera. I love it. Because it is hard to find. I look for like vintage stuff too. But man, it can just be difficult to find it. So I like it when people come up with stuff that looks vintage so that you get that look. Because for a while it was like all you could find was the newer stuff, and then it just doesn't have the same appeal to me as the older stuff does. So that's that one. And this one, let's see here. I'm going to bring it up. This is like a lady in, looks to be like 1800 dress sort of thing, walking into the creepy woods. And it went well. Like I said, that one, this paper pack had a like a creepy woods picture too. And this is like a rose that I fussy cut. It looks like the paper looks like this. There's little spiders. But I just fussy cut it, creepy cloth, and put it back behind there. And this is some other paper that I had with the diamond pattern on it. It has a, kind of that creepy clown thing happening. Oh, this one isn't here. That one's probably not dry, so I'm not even going to attempt it. And then I found these I thought were funny, again, on Pinterest. It's like she's all dressed and with their fancy dress and bun and all that, and there's this creepy like skeleton guy behind her, and then this one, he's creeping up behind her at the table. And I did have one where they were dancing, and I have no idea what I did with that one, so it got lost somewhere. Which if you saw my craft area right now, you'd probably say it's probably in that disaster, because I keep doing things and then I clean them up and then I start something new and I pull everything out again. And then I'm looking for something, and I don't know. And I try to keep everything together and organized in bins and all kinds of stuff, but it's just impossible, I tell you. And I know a lot of people have really fancy craft areas that are probably much better than what I've got going on, but I try to keep like things together so that it's easier to find stuff. This kind of reminded me of like a Phantom of the Opera feel with the roses and then this lady and then the creepy, I mean he's a skeleton, not a something else, but just gives me that feeling. I liked the combo. Okay. And then what should I put with this? Can't put anything very big. There's Edgar Allan Poe. I think that's hilarious. What's creepier, right? Lucky 13 Drive-In. I kind of like this one. That covers a lot of that. I guess it's not that bad. It's really just that corner, but it would be better to have something a little taller. Oh, you know what's creepy is these. Those eyes. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to use. I love this ephemera because it just gives it a little something extra. If you know, if you just have the picture on there or whatever, it's just not quite the same. And you know, it'd be cool on there. Actually, I'm going to pull this up real quick before it sets, because I think some of this would be neat. This creepy cloth that's kind of looks like mummy fabric or something. Of course, I didn't open it yet. I just got it yesterday at the dollar store. So dollar store's got some cool stuff right now that, you know, it doesn't seem real cool when you're just looking at it, but you can do a lot of things with some of the stuff from there. This reminds me of that mummy, whatever he's got wrapped around him. Anyway, I don't know how well this one's going to stay together because it's a much bigger weave than the other creepy cloth I've got. It almost is like a, you know, more of a net. Okay, so let's try this. Like this. I don't want it in the picture. I gotta clean off my glue top, it's all gross. I don't want it to hang quite that much off. Yeah, that one may fall apart too easy, but I think it'll be okay glued in there like that. I'm not sure it'll fit in the pocket though. Might have to put a little more glue right there. And I'm just going to leave that one out for a minute like I did that one. And then I will show you the back, what I've decided to do. See, my problem was I really liked this, even though I've got a mess from the sewing machine being crazy. And a lot of you may know what's wrong with it just by looking at that. I just don't. And I had somebody, my sister actually came over and looked at it, and I think we got it working. But I just am scared to do fabric on it. So if anybody knows the trick or thinks it's okay or whatever, let me know, because I don't know. So I was watching Wendy's Journal Adventures last night, and she was doing 3 ways with 3x5 cards or something to that effect. It was something like that. She was using 3x5 cards 3 different ways, and so one of them was taking the 3x5 card and folding it up to make almost like, you know, a little tuck spot or a library card pocket or whatever, but it's smaller. And so that sent the ding 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 off in my head that I might be able to put these on here and still kind of be able to see some of the stitching, and it wouldn't add quite as much bulk as a whole nother set of those cards. So I used 3x5 cards and I cut 1/4 of an inch off the side, and I could have left it whole. It would have fit on here just fine. It's just like I said, I kind of wanted to some parts see that stitching, and that's just me, but you could do it any way you want. You could do a whole nother set of the library pockets, but I just wanted it to be like this. And then I did some more tags. This is just a die cut that I have, and I put some black twine like this black one on it. But again, you could use whatever you want for that too. And I just folded it up about, I think that's about 1.5 inches, or 1.25 inches is what I ended up folding it up. Yeah, about 1.25 inches. And these are all just coffee stained 3x5 cards that I had, so I can stick those in there like that, and then I can do more pictures and all kinds of stuff, you know, decorations, however I want. And that just let me keep that stitching, you know, without covering it all up. And I didn't have to stitch anything else, which was good, because like I said, I don't think the sewing machine likes it. But anyway, so I'm going to put one here with this, and I kind of tried to correspond them a little bit with whatever was on the front. And this one will go here. That's the first kind of shiny Fright Night, all that, so that's why I kept that one with that. And this one I will put here like this, and I'll decorate them up with some more of the pictures, and then I can have something that I can just use to decorate with, or I could tuck it into a journal And you don't have to do it Halloween. I mean, obviously you could do it whatever you want, but it'll stand up like that, or and I kind of like it because it does bend so easily, or I can tuck it right into a journal. It's kind of thick, but you know, sometimes when you do a back pocket, there's a little more room that you can tuck something a little thicker into. And so, yeah, that's just kind of what I have come up with. So I hope it gave you guys a little something to think about. And thank you from Wendy's Journal Adventures again, because that 3x5 thing made me finish this project that I wasn't finishing. I kept just putting it off and kind of setting it off to the side. So I really appreciate it when everybody shares ideas, because I think it helps all of us keep, you know, coming up with new things and, you know, thinking outside the box. So I love that little pocket there, and I just tuck some creepy cloth back behind it up there because it's not quite as tall, but I like it. It's just a little tuck spot. So anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time. Please subscribe.